Hi friends, Cheri here. This is my second video of the night. I'm on a roll. I'm sitting in the car listening to music. I used to sit here and listen to this channel, Joy FM. This is Joy FM in our area. I don't know, 99.1, but it's the Christian channel. And I used to listen to this. I never listened to anything else. And, I've come to realize that I don't have to just listen to Christian music. There's so much music out there that God is in, and the message of divine love is in, like John Lennon's song, Imagine. The Long and Winding Road from the Beatles. There's so many out there. And I hear a lot of people say that, we're supposed to not be in the world and we can only listen to Christian music for Christians. Otherwise it's a sin. I've heard people do that and say that so much in my life, and I believed it, I believe that, the more Christian music we listen to, the more enriched our life is, and the more, we hear the message that they bring, the more holy we would be. Wrong-o. Music is a wonderful thing. Christian music is a wonderful venue, but secular music is also very anointed, and from rock to pop to country to bluegrass to gospel to blues, God is in it all, even in hip hop. But this is kind of bringing my point here, is that so many judge, they when they become Christian, and they're saved, they put themselves upon this pedestal, and they look down at the rest of the world, and they point fingers, and they judge. And you know what? I've been just as guilty of this as anybody. And I've come to realize that we got nothing to judge. We are not one another's judge. However, we are our own judge. Unfortunately, we shouldn't be, but we are. And we are one another's judge. But really, there is no judge. There is no judgment. There is no condemnation. All there is love, acceptance, kindness and gentleness and forgiveness and mercy and grace. That's all that there is. And the judgment is something that we do. It's something we do when it says that God will judge us. Well, that's the God in each of us. We judge one another. And it's so easy to do, but it's not our nature. Our nature is love, divine love. We are the image of the ultimate divine love, God. And being the image of God or divine love means that we are divine love as well. And we bring divine love in this world, in this realm, this physical realm. And the judgment, the condemnation, being self-righteous, putting people down because they're not like us, or they don't believe like us, or they don't look like us, or they don't sing the things that we sing, or they don't watch the movies that we watch. It's not about self-righteousness. When we put ourselves on that pedal and we look down on others and we tell them, you're wrong, you're sinning, you're wrong, you're sinning, that is self-righteousness. It's when we look at someone from a transformed heart and we have grace, we give grace, and we have understanding instead of judgment. That's when we know that we have found divine love. When we can see someone through the eyes of divine love. You know, when we have transformed hearts, many Christians are out there saying that God has transformed their heart, and they're sitting on their pedestal judging self-righteously. But they truly have not been transformed. If you can do that to another living being, your heart has not been transformed, and you do not know God, who is divine love. But when you can sit on the mercy seat and judge divinely with mercy and grace and love, then it really isn't judgment at all. It's understanding. I know people say, well, what about somebody who goes out there and they murder someone, in the name of their religion, like, ISIS is doing, Well, even that act is driven out of love. See, love is all there is. So even that act is driven out of love because they love their belief system. They love their God, or the God that they believe is.
It's Big Daddy Weave on Joy FM, and they just announced they're going to be going on tour.
I hear people say, why is this world so evil? But who are we to judge it to be evil? When we can sit in the mercy seat and judge with mercy, love, and grace and understanding, that is the righteous judge. When you act out of love for someone and understanding of what they do, not condoning it, as the teacher Neil Donald Walsh says, not condoning it, not agreeing with it, as he says, but understanding. So judging righteously isn't really judging at all. It's judging through the eyes of divine love. And when that happens, all there comes from that is grace. So you can sit on your seat of judgment, your throne, and judge those around you. Or you can sit in the mercy seat, where the King of Kings is seated. And you can judge righteously through the eyes and the heart of divine love. I know I'm driving this divine love thing really, really to the point, but that's all there is, folks. That's all there is. That's the only force that there is. There is no evil. What we call evil and think we know is evil.
Dear younger me, it's not your fault.
It's really, it's just, as my friend Carmen says, it's blindness to divine love. But it's not evil. It's just blindness. We are all divine love, and we're here to find it. We're here to know it. We're here to be restored to it. We are here to be it. That is the sole purpose that we have here in this physical realm that we call Earth. People say, well, what is love, you know? The love that we think we know as human beings is not the kind of love I'm talking about. It's unconditional. It is eternal. It is grace and mercy and understanding. It is kindness and gentleness. It is all the fruits of the Spirit. Divine love is. And it never fails. I want to read you, just for my YouTube people. Well, I'm not going to be able to read it. I'm going to have to piece this video together now because I got out of it like a dummy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. It's just joking. But I'll get it and I'll read it. I'll bring it and read it to you. But it was a poem that I wrote on divine love, about it and what it is. And we have to constantly, I read that over and over to myself daily. And I can see where I'm falling short of that definition of divine love. But it's when we see our shortcomings in it, that's when we can really understand, what it is and what it isn't. That's how we grow in divine love. That's how we become divine love. It is a growth process, and it's not something that we can do overnight. It's a lifetime of learning. And a lifetime of religious beliefs that have been drilled into us, of shedding all of that. Just taking it off of us like a worn out coat. Because the spring has come. And we don't need that winter coat anymore. We can be free. We can be free in the sunshine and the flowers and all things living. See, the seasons really tell about a person's lifetime. And the winter, it categorizes, or not categorizes, but it's metaphorical for the season in our lives in which we are wearing our coat, our cloak, our religion. And in the springtime, it's shed. It's shed. And we are free. Well, I think that's about all I have in this video. I don't know if this is a continuation of my last video. I don't know, but I just felt like maybe I left these thoughts out in the last one, and I wanted to get them out there before I forgot. Anyways, I hope you all are blessed by these messages. I don't want to offend anyone. My purpose for putting these messages out is to share. It's just simply to share with you all the things that I am learning and that I have learned, and the journey that I am on with the Christ inside of me and the Christ inside of you. We're all on this journey together. We all communicate with one another. See, what technology, is trying to do, what the people who are developing all these technological advances, what they're trying to do is to have us disassociate from one another, so that we're so preoccupied with everything that we do that we're not communicating, we're not associating with one another, we're not giving divine love, we're not even learning how to do it, we're not seeing God within. And that's why it's so important to unplug from these things. They're really a good tool to bring messages to people. It's a really good tool for fellowship. I have met some beautiful, wonderful souls through this media. I am not knocking it. However, we cannot let it take the place of our being one together and fellowshipping with one another. I'm against the whole church system. However, I am for a place where people can go to fellowship and to share with one another. I don't care about, I don't agree with the church system where a pastor gets up and he gives his message and everybody else just sits and listens. A church is made up of the people. It's not a building, and it's not about the pastor's message. We all get messages from God. No one gets messages more than one another. We all get messages. He speaks to all of us. No one is anointed. We're all anointed. We are all anointed ones. He speaks to us all in ways that he knows that we can feel his presence. And so many times we just overlook it. And we don't see it, we don't hear it, we don't feel it. But not one person is more anointed at hearing the voice of God than another. There's no pastor that's more anointed than that congregation, anyone in that congregation, right down to the infants. No one. My idea of church is a place where people go to share with one another. I believe it should always be a place where anyone who's had revelation that week should be able to get up and share, not just one man. There shouldn't be one man ahead of the church. It should belong to all the people. It is a congregation of people. And I also believe that if there are offerings that are being taken up, that it should be in agreement with something that they're going to do for someone. It shouldn't go to the church or to operate the church or to go to the pastor's salary or anyone else's salary. I believe that money should go to the good of a community of people who need help. Not who need to hear the word or the gospel, but people who need help, because what we do, our actions and our love is what gives the true gospel message. We can talk all we want to with our mouths, but it's our actions of love, our deeds of love that come from our heart. That's how people know and learn and see God. hear Him and know Him is through us, those actions, the actions of a transformed heart. So we as a community church should put their offering in for whatever you're going to help with that week. Somebody, a family, the homeless, whoever needs help. Pick something and help someone. Or just get together, if people can't afford to do that, get together and do nice things, help an elderly person, go grocery shopping for them, get together in the community and find these folks. They're everywhere. Folks who need a helping hand. That's what the church should be doing. They should be out in the community giving their divine love to others who need help. This is the way. This is the way that we get the gospel message across, is by our love. So no, I'm not against church. I'm against the church system that exists today. I'm totally not against church. I would love to have a place where people can come together in fellowship and give love to one another and plan on going out in their community and giving love to other people who need it. I love the singing part. That'll never get old. I love singing. But I don't believe it all has to be gospel and Christian music. Let people write songs and get up and sing. And if church has to last 4 hours, then it does. If that means every last person gets to share what was revealed to them that week, then so be it. People can always leave if they get tired. But church needs to be restructured. Church isn't a bad thing, but church the way it is not so good. It's an organization. It's not a congregation of people anymore. It's a business. Church should never be a business, nor should it have ever been a business. So, I guess I'm ranting. I don't mean to rant, but, it's very frustrating. So anyway, I've met so many people. I've fellowshipped with so many people through this social media venue, YouTube, Facebook, and Messenger, and I've come to know so many lovely people. But it's also good to go and pay that person a visit. Give them a hug, love on them, smile at them, share with them. We have to start. And I'm one that in the past was really bad to want to hide behind my desk at work. I loved being alone and working alone and not really having to deal with many people. But since I've come to this awakening in my soul, I can't even imagine being that way anymore. I can't imagine that I was that way at all. Because how can we put our love in action and light our light in this realm if we're hiding behind our phones or our laptops or our desktops or whatever, our tablets? I guess I'm done. I'm sorry I went on so long, but I really felt like I needed to say these things, and I just didn't have time to get it out in the video. But now I've went away from the home. I'm in my car where I'm alone, and I can actually communicate my thoughts clearer. So I just want to bless you all. Thank you for all your love and encouragement. There's some that are usual people who encourage me, and love on me. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly, truly am blessed by it. Please do the same with all others. And even if you don't agree with someone, and I know that there are things that people agree with me on and things that they don't agree with me on, and that's okay. You know, we're all different. All things are revealed to us differently because we are different. We perceive things differently. So, you know, let's just come to love one another's differences. You know, it's a wonderful world when we can see the uniqueness of each characteristic that God has given to each of us. That's just wonderful. You know, we get to see all the unique characteristics of God in all other people and get to know that, and it's just wonderful. And so anyway, I'll let you go. Until my next video, much love. God bless you all. Mwah. Bye.